you feel today when Ebuka said something about Joanna and...
Should I blow your mind?
He knew already.
I knew.
Mado.
I knew. I'll tell you something. I can see patterns. I knew the day before Jason and Sultana.
That was yesterday, though.
No. Before Jason and Sultana became close, I told Sultana and Jason would be close to me. Ask her.
So mind game too, I mean.
It's not a mind game. It's just I can see things.
Can see people.
It's the same way I know you and Kola will not amount to anything.
Faith! What's it with this?
You guys might try. It's not going anywhere. You and Bright, you don't really like Bright.
Well.
Entertain Bright. See, whether you believe it. See. Two years from now, I want to see where you and Bright are. Mark my words. 2 years from now.
I don't like Bright.
I just say you don't like Bright.
I'm just entertaining him.
Ewo. Faith.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey guys, hey Bethans, welcome back to my channel. My name is Austin Betha and I am so glad to have you guys back on my channel. Now, if you're new here, hello, my name is Austin Betha, like I said. Please make sure to hit on the subscribe button before you leave and also give this video a thumbs up, if you enjoyed watching it right now or at the end, okay? And of course, to my returning Bethans, my Leos, the absolute loves of my life. Thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. I do not take you for granted, okay? So quite a number of things happened after our live stream last night. I mean, they had the head of house games and, at the end of it, Faith emerged the winner, okay? This is his third time, yes, like a 3-time HOH this season. So that's a very interesting feat. And this is me saying congratulations to the guy, right? Because, I mean, the drawing, if you watch the game, you would understand that Biggie was in the mood for Squid Game, basically. If you've watched the movie Squid Games, you would understand that a lot of the games were similar from, trying to draw out lines and shapes the way they were in the reference pictures and then, going through the tunnel and then, now replicating the same picture. Like Biggie gave them like a picture and then you have to replicate it, right? So the entire game thing was just giving me Squid Game vibes, which for me was very interesting, right? And can I just say that Zita is also very competitive. And that's something I actually love about Zita. The fact that she doesn't just let herself go like that. She makes sure to try until there's no way forward, right? So yes, she was the first runner-up and then of course Faith was the winner, right? So yeah, congratulations to Faith. I mean, of course, I know we're going to have the challenger later today, so let's see how that goes. But I mean, all of that happened. Yeah, he chose Mensan as his guest. He didn't want anybody initially, but Biggie said, the drill, so he chose Mensan. Now, they got back into the house. And of course, as you know, or as expected, a lot of conversations started, left, right, and center. To be very fair, if Faith retains the HOH, I don't think this week is going to be a toxic week. And I'm saying this because of the kind of conversations that he was having with, some of the housemates, right? Now, they made dinner and all of that, and they were trying to eat and stuff like that, yeah? And they started talking about food, and some of the housemates were like, oh, this is the first time they're actually seeing Faith, like, just eat food, like, eat. He's always eating junks and all of that, right? And then the guy goes, oh, yeah, like, even when I used to live with my babe, she used to cook a lot. She knows how to cook. And then Rubo is like, you get babe. Rubo is like, you get babe. He say, yeah, that he have babes.
For you to eat proper food, it will cost you a lot.
For where?
Georgia.
Oh no, I had my babe cooks for me. I lived with my babe for 3 years.
You get it?
I have babes, bro.
Ha! Hey!
Yes!
You live with her where? In Georgia?
Yeah, she cooks very well.
Oh, Faith. I don't really know what I want to tell you. But I mean, after they had that conversation, it was now, Faith, there was Zita, there was Dede, there was Mide, there was Mensan, yes, there was Kola as well, right? I think at some point, Ruboy left there, but these other people were there. And they were just talking generally, yeah? They talked about, they had asked him about the whole Joanna situation, and the guy said that he already knew. He knew. In fact, before he said it, Zita said it. So I think that's something they had talked about, right? And, he mentioned that he knew. He talked about how, like, he knows that it's a pattern with Jason J. With the whole Sultana thing, that happened, and then now Joanna. For Faith, it's all a pattern, and he already could see it. It's not like, oh, he was so shocked he did not know. No, he knew. And then, Zita confirmed it as well. Even though I also heard when him and Zita were having a conversation, immediately he won the head of house game. Zita was trying to tell him that, yeah, like, this is a different dispensation. Just trying to advise him that, look, the first time, the second time it went somehow, but this time the situation in the house is different, the atmosphere is different, so maybe he should just try to tone it down. Basically, just, they were talking as friends. It wasn't like they were going back and forth. No, they had that conversation, right? So now back to this dining area where they were talking, they just kept going, oh, you have babe and all of that. And then they started talking about themselves, right? You know how like one talk will lead to another talk and all of that. And Faith is telling Mide that, look, you don't like brides. Like, you don't like the guy. You're just entertaining him. And it's not even a problem. Like, for him, that's his opinion. It's not that that's the, truth or anything like that. And she's like, hey, you know how Mide will always shout and shout. And she's like, no, don't say that, oh. Don't say that, oh, I beg, or I don't want wahala. But I mean, what he was trying to say to her is, you don't like, he even told her, I give you 2 years. 2 years from now, let me see where you and bride will be. You don't like him, you're just entertaining him. And I was trying to explain to them that the thing with this house is that you have a very limited option. So it's not to say that you don't like Bright at all. But like, this thing that was happening between the both of them, for him, his opinion, he kept on saying it. This is my opinion, right? I don't have to be right or anything. I'm just saying, based off of what I can see or what I even saw, with you and Bright and all of that, he just doesn't think that Mide likes the guy. He feels like Mide was just entertaining him because, again, if you don't do that, then you might as well remain lonely. That house doesn't have options. And he kept on explaining that it's not just peculiar to Mide, it's just generally in the house. Sometimes, you feel like, oh, I will never do something like this. But then because you're restricted, you don't have so much options and all of that, you find yourself doing certain things, right? And then Mide, of course, was trying to be politically correct. You know how you don't want to say some things, but then you want to say some things. She go talk, she go keep quiet, she go talk, she go keep quiet. Say, you will be all right, last. You and Bright Morgan, you'll be fine, right? Now, they talked about that, and then Faith now entered Dede. He said, Dede, in his words, you and Kola will not amount to anything. Like, he literally said it back. And I'm like, Faith, hey, when I no go beat you. You and Faith, you and Kola will not amount to anything because Dede, you are selfish. He literally told her that. You are selfish. And I get it. People tell me I'm brash with my words and I'm going to change. I'm working on it and I'm working on it. But I mean, it's just what it is. You can't really change for anybody. Dede, I'm not saying that you being selfish is a bad thing. I'm just telling you that, whatever it is that is going on between you and Kola, like, it's not working, right? I mean, they just kept going back and forth, and at some point, Kola was just not in the mood for this conversation. He literally just stood up and tried to walk away. Because, I mean, before he left, Faith had said something like, oh, Kola actually also has needs, right? He also has needs. So there's some things that, on a good day, he probably wouldn't even be doing these things or take these things. But because, again, we're in this house, not a lot of options, going back to the whole idea of if you don't take what is available, then you might as well, remain lonely, right? So they kept on having that conversation and I found it very hilarious. It's just in the way that they all sat down, trying to listen, trying to hear what he had to say. And the guy just kept telling them that, look, this is what I think, it is my opinion. I mean, at some point, the camera left them, and when they came back, he was like, Imisi, there's something he said about Imisi. And man, I'm like, okay, what are they talking about? Like, how did Imisi get into this? And then some of the other husbands were like, what, let's not go there. But I did not get what they were saying because the camera was not on them, the entire time he was now talking about Imisi. Now, whilst these people were having this conversation, camera now took us to the garden, and I'm just like, okay. There's Jason J, there's Sultana. I'm like, Salty, you said that you don't want to talk to this guy about this issue. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. What's happening here? What's going on?
I'm sorry about how I made you feel. We have just 14 days to go and you'll be out of this place.
And then, of course, the camera showed us, it was Jason J apologizing. And in a bid to apologize, he was trying to gaslight her. You're saying, oh, you are sorry. I know what I said there. I know how it made you feel. You know, whatever I said, I know how it probably made you feel. You know, but, you know, again, I told you that 2 things. I told you, number 1, I have a relationship outside. And number 2, I can do whatever I want in the house. Blah, blah, blah. And Sultana is like, first of all, it's not like we're in a relationship. I'm not saying we're in a relationship. I'm just saying you should have been upfront with me. You know, I don't want to be in a situation where, you know, I'm now just behaving anyhow. That she has a lot of self-respect for herself. So if he, Jason J, is the kind of person that, you know, wants to be here, be there, she can't stop him from doing that because, again, they're not in a relationship. However, what she can do is take herself away from that mix because that's just not who she is. You know, that he would have just told her, oh, I'm feeling this babe, because he was saying, oh, I told you, Joanna, you know, I fuck with her. I did it. I'm like, guy, stop this gaslighting thing. It's rubbing off on me somehow, you know, it's just really somehow. And trust me, guys, I was so impressed with the way Sultana handled it last night. I love that she did not let it slide. She just kept telling him, no, you did not tell me that. I asked you, do you like her? And you just said, oh, you like, he literally did not answer her in the way that he knew she was asking. Because, I mean, why would she just randomly come and meet you and say, do you like this person? No, she saw something that made her ask you that. And then he was like, oh, you asked me, and I said yes. The girl said no. When I asked you, you know the context with which I was asking. But then you just said yes. Like, you said it playfully, like, oh, yes, as far as she's just your friend. I'm not saying don't like her. I'm just saying you should have let me know. Then I know how to go forward with it. You know, she was just not having it at all.
No, you didn't make that clear. I was just finding out what I found out today.
There was nothing to make clear
Because I asked, the thing is, regardless of whatever you have outside, I also have self-respect. I have self-respect not to fuck with somebody that fucks with other people.
They kept going back and forth. The camera would leave it to come back. They were still talking. Took us to where Faith was having that conversation with the rest of the housemates. They talked for a while. Camera came back. They were still there. I was just like, guys, now this is exhausting. Okay, this is really, really exhausting. You know, talked. At some point, while she was now trying to make a point, oh, there was this guy that I dated in Abuja. You know, how that the guy, you know, had asked me if I would want to date a married man, and I said no. How that he asked me, you know, Sultana has a lot of, you know, relationship experience, you know, so at every point in time when there's a conversation, she just finds one and talks about it, you know. So she had given an example with that. She was giving another example. You know, I'm just like, girl, like, it's okay, you know. Wrap it up, Salty. Wrap it up already, because this talk that on a pass, be careful. He was like, I want to go and get something. She was like, oh, please get for me too. I said, stand up, please go and get for her, because even me with the yell on her, I don't tire. I don't really tire because waiting they occur. For me, I'm just like, what's happening here? He stood up and went to get her whatever it was that she needed. Now, there was also this conversation that Isabella was having with Emisi. And to be very honest with you, as much as I heard what they were saying, you know, I just did not understand the context, you know, and maybe it's just me being tired, you know. So just in case you watch that conversation, let me know, do you have an idea, you know, as to who they were talking about?
Take it to him. So, I beg, when they can say people are smelling the enemies, this is a play. That day upstairs, when they were saying that, they call my name first. We then call him. They said, I think they asked whether if they give him 10 million, will he kiss me? He said, go for bid. Everybody was there now, Bright, Mide, Tioma, Mensan, Jason. I think they were having a conversation upstairs, all of them. Me and Sultana were in the room, like, when you wake up, where I take. So, that's what he means. They bring the conversation. When he said it, I just did laugh. I'm not surprised because I don't give a fuck. He said it. You guys are the one that bring this conversation to me. Now I analyze it. You're complaining. I beg. Anybody get out.
May they get out.
I don't have dream. I like
you sounding like me. But yeah, by the time the camera will go here, just showing us different people and what they were doing, they started showing us breaking transmission and told us that they will be right back and all of that. So it was at that point I just turned off my TV. I'm like, you know what, better, maybe you should just go and talk about this one and go and sleep. But you know, I just think that even the housemates know that there's really nothing as real love in that house. You know, there's no such thing as that. You can actually be in a relationship with someone in the house for many reasons. First, it might be alliance. You know, second, it might just be, oh, I'm bored. You know, I don't want to be alone. Thirdly, like it could be anything. It could really be anything. You know, even though Mide was trying to say no, I have feelings for Bright, but I don't know what the feeling is, or that she doesn't know what it is. And Faith was like, that's exactly my point. You don't know what it is. It's just in the mind, like, oh, we're here, we're restricted. You just want to make do with what you have, because here your brain starts to shrink. You know, it's like, I want this, I want that, but since I cannot have that, maybe I should just make do with this one. You know, I found that conversation very, very interesting, to be very honest with you guys. It was so nice just seeing Faith having conversations with a group of housemates. You know, they were talking about, oh, are you, in fact, how did the conversation even start? Oh, we want to get to know you, Faith. We want to get to know you. Are you a nice person? Are you a caring person? He's like, I'm caring, I'm nice. Even though some of you may not believe me, I am. I'm this, I'm that. And guys, can I tell you, the entire time they were talking, when they brought up Joanna's name, they had asked him, oh, how did the Joanna situation make you feel? This guy still took like another 5 minutes to serenade Joanna. You know, just saying how, you know, she's beautiful, she's in a class of her own, she's this. Like, he had not a single negative thing to say about Joanna. It's just in the fact that Joanna never rated the friendship that she shared with Faith. Again, it just seemed like, oh, she wanted a Faith in, you know, Jason J's body. You know, this thing they do when, what's her name? What's this girl's name now? Erica. When she said she wanted Lecon in Kid Wire's body. You know, sometimes I hear these things and I'm like, now wow. Now wow. But you know, it just made me realize that this guy genuinely cares for Joanna, regardless of whatever it was. Like, he already knew about the whole Jason J pattern. He knew, but then he did not act on it. He didn't, like, he chose not to act on it. You know, he still kept on saying nice things about her. I just feel like Joanna could have answered her question a bit better. You know, the part where she was like, you know, Ebuka, you know, Faith has a way with words. I can't tell him what to say. You know, no. You just made it sound like, oh, the guy just a bobo you and all of that. If you felt that way, you know, then you should have acted it. But you were there. You know, you go balance, you go enjoy. I mean, whatever it is, guys, at this point, anything goes. I mean, that's just how it has been with me. Anything really goes, to be honest. It's a reality show. You know, whatever happens, happens. But guys, let me know, did you guys follow on that conversation? You know, what are your thoughts? Let's have a conversation in the comment section, okay? Like I said, I had to turn off my TV because they said, you know, break a transmission, we'll be right back. Me, I did not know how long that's gonna take. So yeah, I decided to turn it off, you know, film this video and try to post it for you guys, okay? Now that I have finished, of course, if you're watching this, it means that I filmed it, edited it, and posted it. And maybe when you're watching it, I'm trying to get some sleep, at least, even if not 1 hour. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. Let's have a chat in the comment section. You know, tell me what you think about the conversation Faith had with the rest of the housemates. Do you think that if he wins the HOA Challenger, do you think that this regime is going to be different? Do you want him to win it? Let's just have all of these conversations, all right? Thank you guys. Like I said, I love you so much. And yes, I'll see you on the next one, okay? Bye.